A quick update before I begin this video. The voting on the BCG Disney Week videos has concluded, and here are the results. The top 2 picks in both the top 10 and review sections, as well as the top pick in the cringe theater section, will be the videos I'll be making for the upcoming BCG Disney Week, which will be starting next Sunday, so get excited for that. And if you would like to still submit your BCG Disney Week fan art, you still can submit them. I'm accepting them until Wednesday, November 22nd. After that, I will no longer be accepting them. And if you'd like to send them in, submit them to this email right here, and be sure to title it BCG Disney Week fan art submission. That way I know that it's your fan art. Otherwise, it's gonna get lost in my mail. Now, with all that said, let's get to this top 10 list you all have been waiting for. Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy, and after a month-and-a-half long wait, I proudly present my list of the top 10 best romantic leads in anime. These are characters in romance anime that have charm and personality, undeniable chemistry with their love interests, and have a profound and positive impact on them. So with all that said, let's start feeling the love and dive right in! Coming back from the dead, the number 10 spot is Ayumu Aikawa from the Is This a Zombie series. His heart may no longer be beating, but that doesn't stop him from being compassionate. A human resurrected as a zombie and on occasion is a magical girl, Ayumu spends most of his days in a house with 3 powerful and eccentric women that berate, demean, and ridicule him on a daily basis. But although they treat him somewhat poorly, he still goes above and beyond to protect every member of his household, especially the woman who brought him back to life, Euclid. And because of his kind, noble, amusing, and chivalrous personality, qualities that seem to be growing quite rare in the modern day harem, it's believable why these girls like him so much, and he's one of the best the genre has to offer in terms of leads. Acting the fool at the number 9 spot is Akihisa Yoshi from Baka and Tess. Plain and simple, the guy's a lovable goofball. You can't help but find him charming and likable. There's no denying this. And yes, while his clueless tendencies and idiotic behavior can get irritating, especially for his love interest, deep down, he does mean well. Whether it's supporting Himeji to express her true feelings to the one she likes, which she doesn't realize is actually him, or speaking broken German to Minami to make her feel better, he's just a good guy all around that tries to do the right thing, but kind of screws up with the execution. And the icing on top is that Yoshi is just a delight to be around. He's fun, energetic, bizarre, weird, wacky, zany, unpredictable, overall entertaining. There's never a dull moment with this character. No matter what the situation is, he always finds a way to make the mood light and comical, which is never a bad thing, especially when you're the lead character in a romantic comedy. Macho on the outside, but emotionally sensitive on the inside is my number 8 choice, Kenji Harima from School Rumble. Beneath all the bravado and tough guy exterior lies a sweet, emotionally vulnerable, kind-hearted teddy bear. He may not look like it, but Harima is the everyman. A good, upstanding guy trying to succeed in the world, express his true feelings to the one that he loves, and do the right thing. But because of his delinquent appearance, he is easily misunderstood. But his greatest quality comes from his selfless nature. He really sticks his neck out for a lot of people in School Rumble, from driving Tenma, the girl he loves, to go see Karasuma, his love rival, and the person that Tenma loves, twice, and helping Eri, a girl that he cannot stand, get out of an arranged marriage. You can't get more stand-up guy than that. Plus, not only is he the coolest and most handsome character on the list, but he's also arguably the coolest and most handsome man in School Rumble. He's got a great bod, great personality, cool guy charisma, is kind and considerate. I mean, Harima is a freaking catch. What do you not see in this man, Tenma? Hello, are the lights working in there? I mean, your sister was able to notice it. How come you aren't? Being out of this world at the number 7 spot is Lum from Urusei Yatsura. From the moment she crashes into Atsuru's life, literally, you knew that she was something special. This stunning beauty is arguably the truest girlfriend character in all of anime. She's happy when Atsuru's around, gets sad when he's not, and gets super angry and upset with his lecherous behavior. Although in my honest opinion, that's a complete understatement. But through it all, she remains faithful and always finds a way to stay optimistic and resilient, seeing the good in Ataru when everyone else just sees the bad. She supports Ataru both emotionally and with his ridiculous endeavors, protects and saves him even from himself, and provides him with a lot of entertainment with all of their misadventures. Although you can make a strong argument that he doesn't really enjoy these misadventures, but I know that I sure did. There's no denying the impact Lum had on Ataru's life, starting as a horny, careless teen chasing tail to a somewhat decent man at the end that deeply cares for Lum and will go out of his way to protect her, save her, and be with her. And it's all thanks to the green-haired, bikini-wearing vixen from the stars. Leveling up to the number 6 spot is Keima Katsuragi from The World God Only Knows. Keima is by far one of the most fascinating leads in the harem I've encountered. A man whose mind is so video game centric that he approaches romancing various girls in real life like conquering video game maidens, which, I won't lie, was very fun to see him execute. I guess that's why he called himself the God of Conquest. But what's even more interesting is how each of his romantic encounters in the series has a major impact on him as a character. These aren't just one-off, isolated incidences that Keima brushes off like dirt on his shoulders. These have long-lasting consequences and affect him emotionally. Despite his I could care less look, he does deeply care for each of the girls he romances throughout the series. He may not say it out loud, but he definitely showcases it through his actions. He treats each of the girls that he romances respectfully, spends a lot of time with them to get to know who they are, what they're like, what their stories are, to build strong chemistry and bonds with them. And throughout all of his romantic rendezvous, he grows as a character and becomes a different person by the very end. Someone that has a more clearer understanding of what love is and the damage that it can have on both him and others. Need I remind those who have seen the series of season 3 and its conclusion? Truly heartbreaking to see. But it's through all these experiences that makes Keima such a dynamic character and a great love romantic lead. Being the fairest of them all at the number 5 spot is Shirayuki from Snow White with the red hair. Shirayuki is unique in the fact that her romance is not what defines her. Her passion and hard work does. And it's those qualities that leads to the romance that she has with Zen. He's completely smitten and entranced by her in every single way, much like the audience. And seeing her determination, her hard work, trying to improve herself, really motivates Zen to try to improve himself and become a better person, which is exactly what a good romantic partner should do. Challenge their partner to better themselves. And Zen and Shirayuki's relationship is still one of my all-time favorites and downright adorable. She's strong-willed, intelligent, thoughtful, kind, strives to improve herself on a daily basis, and is still drop-dead gorgeous with that luscious red hair of hers. Conquering the game of love at the number 4 spot is Kuroyuki Hime from Acol World. Upon initially seeing the character, I thought I had her all figured out. She was gonna be this hollow, generic, one-note, uptight, snooty rich bitch that everybody likes and admires, and she's super popular and completely demeans and degrades the main character. But then, said main character discovers her deep, dark secret. She loves playing video games, and she's actually playing the same video game as the main character. And then the two start spending time with each other in order to keep the main character's silence on the whole thing, and then they slowly grow closer and closer to the point where they fall in love with one another. Boy, I could not have been more wrong, and honestly, I'm very glad that I was. I did get two things right. Kuroyuki Hime is very popular in school and is a beauty, but she's also considerate, graceful, and kind, and radiates towards the main character Haru, who isn't much of a looker, almost immediately, helping him to get better at the game Brains Burst, and in the process falls in love with the little piggy. But you all know why she's here. For the moment where she sacrificed her own being to protect Haru from getting hit by a car. That was a true act of love, and from that moment on, I never questioned Kuroyuki Hime's love and affections for Haru ever again. It is still, to this very day, one of the greatest selfless acts done in an anime. Bargaining their way to the number 3 spot is Holo the Wise Wolf and Lawrence from Spice and Wolf, the only couple to make the list, and for good reason. When it comes to anime couples with impeccable chemistry, I can think of no better example than the dynamic duo of Holo and Lawrence. Their conversations as well as their interactions are not only very entertaining to watch, but they carry this entire anime. If you were to remove these two characters from Spice and Wolf or replace them with 2 other characters, the show might not have been as great. To see these two in action as they haggle with various people, it's a thing of beauty, guys. This is where the dynamic part in dynamic duos comes to play, as these two are so in sync. They know exactly what they need to do to make sure the deal goes their way. Lawrence will strike up the deal, and then Holo will listen carefully to see if the person is lying or if the device is faulty. It's a winning combination. Well, most of the time. But of course, none of this is possible if the two did not have a strong, convincing bond. And luckily for us, if it wasn't clear already, they sure as hell do. They connect on such a level to where they fully understand their partner inside and out. Their strengths, their weaknesses, what makes them sad, what makes them happy. They understand it all. It's all of that added to how they support each other through the good times and the bad that is proof positive for their placement here. Trying time and time again to make it work at the number 2 spot is Yuki Hase from 1 Week Friends. Now I bet many of you are surprised to see this character so high on the list, and some might even think that it's unearned. But if you really sat and thought about what Yuki does throughout 1 Week Friends, you would know that this placement is totally justified, as he does something that is truly admirable and brave. First, he puts himself out there week after week after week for over a year to befriend a girl whose memory resets every Monday. Could you imagine the exhaustion and anxiety this character goes through on a weekly basis, wondering if what he did with this character will resonate with her and that she'll actually remember it the following week? And yet, he continues to do it. And adding to that, his persistence to become Fujimiya's friend is so sweet and admirable. Most people would have considered her a lost cause and would have given up on her on the spot. But not Yuki. He perseveres and works alongside Fujimiya to make sure that he is not forgotten. And it's from his unwavering determination to be her friend that inspires Fujimiya to also work hard not to forget Yuki. She also gave up any hope that she would ever make any friends due to her ailment. But now seeing that this guy is going above and beyond to try to make this friendship work, that really got her thinking, I gotta do what it takes to also remember him. I gotta write notes, I gotta take pictures, I gotta write in my diary, my books, whatever, so that I make sure that Yuki is not forgotten in my mind and how much I deeply care for him. With his devotion, patience, and unyielding dedication to Fujimiya, and the positive impact he has on her life, bringing joy, happiness, and hope back into it, it is clear as day why Yuki is the runner-up. And now here we are at the number 1 spot. And I'm sure some of you might be able to guess who I picked for number 1, as I've talked about the character multiple times in other top 10 lists because I just love this character so much. They're one of the best characters in anime, and in my opinion, the best romantic lead in anime. And that is, of course, Chris from Steins Gate. Now, I'm sure there might be a few of you out there that are shocked that Yakumo did not take the number 1 spot, as I do love the character to death. But there are 2 main reasons why she cannot be number 1 on this list. 1, she does not end up in a relationship with anybody, especially Harima, and 2, she's not the romantic lead in School Rumble. She's a supportive character. Now, if she did take center stage in School Rumble and ended up with Harima, which I desperately wanted, she definitely would have took the number 1 spot. But because she was none of those things, I couldn't give her the number 1 spot. Although she does share many of the same qualities that I love in Chris. And now I shall list them. So now comes the big Kahuna Burger question. Why does Chris have the distinct honor of taking the top spot on my list? Well, that's because she embodies all of the qualities displayed in the other 9 choices. The big heart of Ayamu, the entertaining personality of Akihisa but less stupid and eccentric, the beauty and supportiveness of Lum, the methodical nature of Keima, the strong-willed independence and intelligence of Shirayuki, but she's way smarter than Shirayuki, plus the red hair, the undeniable chemistry of Holo and Lawrence with Okabe, and finally, the selflessness and dedication of Harima, Kuroyuki Hime, and Yuki, as well as understanding her partner fully and having a profound effect on the character in a positive way. Through all of Okabe's toughest moments throughout the series, particularly witnessing the death of his best friend multiple times in different timelines, Chris, no matter what the timeline is always by his side, cheering him up or motivating him not to give up. She understands Okabe to his core, that she knows exactly what to do in order to lift his spirits, whether it's saying the right things, tossing him a Dr. Pepper, or imitating his wacky behavior. She seems to be able to get a smile, a laugh, or some type of grin from him. She's always able to lift his spirits. And to hammer in my final point, to nail my reason as to why I feel that Chris is the greatest romantic lead in anime, she goes out of her way to sacrifice her life to save Okabe's childhood friend, Mayuri. And I don't mean like sacrifice her life, like pushing somebody out of the way and maybe I'll survive. No, wiping her existence out of all the timelines, making it so that she never existed. She did that to save Okabe from the torment of having to relive seeing Mayuri die time and time and time again. She realizes that maybe if you subtract me from the equation, maybe she lives. This leads to one of the most tumultuous, yet touching, romantic, and heartbreaking episodes I have ever seen. It probably might be one of the greatest anime episodes of all time, and it's an episode that I still think is near perfection. Everything about that episode is great. And it's a combination of all the things I mentioned, plus that one episode, and that selfless act of sacrificing her own life that makes Chris undoubtedly the greatest romantic lead in anime, at least in my opinion. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my list of the top 10 best romantic leads in anime. And I would love to know what you guys thought about my list. Did you agree with it? Did you disagree with it? Did you feel like I left any characters out? And do let me know, who do you think is the best romantic lead in anime? Comment below, let me know. And this might be my last video until BCG Disney Week, although I am planning to review Justice League, which is coming out this weekend. Please be good. Please be good, god damn it. So I might have a review for that, and I don't know, I'm still kind of battling between whether or not I want to release an anime review before the start of BCG Disney Week. I'll figure it out as the week goes on because I have a lot I need to do for BCG Disney Week, but I am really excited to get that week started. It is my favorite week of the year. So until all these videos come, guys, if you'd like to see more videos of the channel, be part of the Black Critic Crew, please hit the subscribe button below. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. Oh, and I would also like to take this time to thank all of the patrons who have donated to my Patreon account. If you'd like to support the Black Critic Guy just a bit more and keep this channel afloat, consider donating to my Patreon account. There's a link in the description. And also, if you donate to my Patreon account, remember, you will be getting the BCG Disney Week videos one day before they're released on YouTube. So that gives you an added incentive to donate to my Patreon account. So until then, guys, again, if you want to see all those videos, blah, 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 all that good stuff, as always, I am Tony Wild II, the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.